So you just moved to Australia. You've set up the barbecue, learned how to pronounce woolies without getting laughed at, and now you're staring at your backyard thinking, mate, what if I turned this into a leafy green empire? Not lettuce, not spinach. But the magical plant itself. Marijuana. And the first question that pops up, can I grow marijuana at home in Australia legally? Or will a SWAT team crash through my eucalyptus tree before my first harvest even sprouts a leaf? Let's dive into it like a kangaroo doing a cannonball. Australia is a complicated patchwork when it comes to cannabis laws. It's not like America where one state has it legal and the next state acts like you just summoned Satan. Actually, wait. It is a bit like that. Welcome to Aussie cannabis law, the jigsaw puzzle nobody wants to finish because every time you do the rules change. Let's start with the basics. Federally, marijuana is considered illegal in Australia for recreational use. Yep. Even if you grow it in a beautiful pot, water it with Perrier, and play Beethoven to it every day, if you're caught and you're outside of the rules, you're in trouble. But here's where it gets spicy. Individual states and territories have their own say. And one of them decided to go full Bob Marley, the Australian Capital Territory, home to Canberra, the capital city, kangaroos chilling on sidewalks, and some very chill laws on personal cannabis use. In ACT, you are legally allowed to grow up to 2 cannabis plants per person, maximum 4 per household. Sounds great, right? Hold my VB, I'm moving to Canberra, said every stoner ever. But wait. Before you pack your bags and Google cheap tents in ACT, there's a catch. It's still illegal to buy seeds or plants in the ACT. So basically the law says, you can grow it but don't ask us how you got it. It's like telling a kid, you're allowed to eat cake but you can't bake it, buy it or borrow it. Figure it out. And don't even think about hydroponic setups, those high-tech operations with lights that make your plants grow faster than gossip at a sausage sizzle. That's illegal even in ACT. You've gotta go old school, outdoor style. Dirt, sun, and possibly a possum munching on your plant when you're not looking. When no sharing. You can't sell, gift, or even give someone a bud for their birthday. Happy birthday, mate. Here's a little green friend. Nope. Legal. Welcome to the weirdest birthday party ever. Now let's take a scenic drive through the rest of the country with a joint in the glove box. New South Wales. You're not allowed to grow marijuana at home, even if it's just one lonely plant in a pot next to your tomatoes. Police might offer you caution for small amounts, but if you're cultivating, that's a charge. They'll treat your backyard like it's Pablo Escobar's mansion, even if your plant's barely surviving Sydney's weather. Victoria, the land of laneways and overpriced coffee, isn't as lenient as ACT. You still can't legally grow it at home. Yes, even if your cat has anxiety and you were just trying to help. You might get away with possession of small amounts, maybe even a diversion program, but cultivation is still illegal. Queensland, a big nope. Growing cannabis can land you in court faster than you can say, "Oi, it's just for my back pain." South Australia, interesting case. Possession of small amounts is decriminalized, so you might just get a fine like a parking ticket but more herbal. But if you're caught growing, the law isn't so relaxed anymore. It becomes a criminal offense. Western Australia. It's the Wild West. Don't even think about planting anything green and suspicious unless it's mint for your mojito. Grow weed at home and you're likely looking at criminal charges. They don't mess around. Tasmania, beautiful island. Peaceful. Sheep everywhere. But growing marijuana? Still a big no-no unless it's medical and prescribed and your doctor basically gives you a golden ticket. Northern Territory. You might get off lightly if you possess a small amount, but growing it is still illegal. That includes in the desert, under a rock, behind a kangaroo, it doesn't matter. Now let's get to the medical marijuana part. Yes, Australia has legalized medical cannabis. But it's not like you can just walk into a dispensary with a stubbed toe and leave with a bag of buds and a Bob Marley poster. You need a prescription from a registered medical practitioner, and it usually goes through the Therapeutic Goods Administration. And growing your own? Nope. Even with a medical card, you're not allowed to grow it at home. Unless you're part of a licensed medical cultivation operation, which is like applying to be an astronaut, the growing game is off limits. Now let's address the elephant in the grow room. But I just want one plant, for me, no selling, no drama. Unfortunately, the law isn't based on vibes. It's based on legislation. Even one innocent-looking plant can land you in hot water outside of ACT. And trust me, you don't want to explain to a judge why your tomato plant looks suspiciously chill. Now let's switch gears and go funny facts mode because this plant has inspired some of the weirdest stories in Australia. There was a guy in Victoria who got busted because he posted a photo of his cannabis plant on Facebook with the caption, "Look at my Christmas tree." Police responded faster than your aunt who comments, "Lovely," on every photo. In Brisbane, someone tried to disguise their marijuana plant as a decorative house plant by hanging fairy lights on it. That's right, fairy lights. As if police were going to walk in and say, "Ah yes, the rare Festivus fern." Totally legal. And the best one? A bloke in Perth who tried to claim in court that he thought cannabis seeds were sunflower seeds. "I just wanted to attract parrots, Your Honor." 10-10 for creativity. 0-10 for legal success. Let's not forget the neighbor drama. If you do plant marijuana and your neighbor smells it, hears you playing reggae on loop and sees you high-fiving your gnome, they might just call the council. Or worse, post about it on the local community Facebook group. Anyone else notice strange smells on Maple Street? My dog won't stop giggling. So, can you grow marijuana at home in Australia? If you're in ACT, yes, with strict rules. Everywhere else, no, unless you want to test how fast your local police department responds to garden crimes. But let's be honest, rules aside, the idea of growing your own marijuana at home is a dream for many, especially with the rising cost of living. You've got eggs costing $8 a dozen, rent through the roof, and now you're telling me I can't grow a plant that might help me sleep, eat, or chill? Well, not legally. Yet. The conversation around marijuana is evolving in Australia. More people are using it medically, more politicians are discussing reform, and more backyard legends are accidentally growing it next to their basil. Maybe one day we'll all be able to grow a plant or two without fear of legal doom. Until then, stick to basil, mint, and parsley. They're legal, smell nice, and your neighbor's cat probably won't try to smoke them.